Hello, welcome to ET Garage. I'm Eugene Tordo, and today's video is going to be about trying out one of these brake hones. Alright, like I was saying, today's video will be about trying out one of these brake hones. This is a Performance Tool brake rotor hone. Ball type, 2.5-inch diameter, 120 grit. Lifetime warranty, 1/4-inch drive. And on the back it says, used to score or crosshatch pattern on the surface of brake rotors. Works on automotive and motorcycle brake rotors and flywheels. Gain lower harmonic vibration and quieter breaker system. Okay, make something very clear. This is not for resurfacing brake rotors. If you got like a deeply grooved brake rotor that needs to be turned, most of the time these days they won't turn them, we'll just replace them. I mean, you could sit here and grind at this all day and hope you get it nice and even and parallel and all that stuff, but good luck. If it's that deeply grooved, you're going to have to mount it in some type of a brake lathe and turn it. I have, if you haven't seen it, I will leave a link up here somewhere to the other videos I did on polishing brake rotors using a angle grinder that I mounted here to my lathe, and then went and resurfaced them that way. That is simply me playing around and experimental. Do that at your own risk. In most cases, your brake rotors have a minimum diameter or thickness, and if they're deeply grooved, they're probably not going to meet that minimum thickness. And even if they do, you'll be at your minimum. So you'll be, once you put turn them, put new pads on them, and start running them down the road, you're going to go below your minimum thickness. Let's go over the instructions. Instructions. Caution, low speeds only, 500 to 600 RPM. Secure chuck the quarter shaft in a low RPM drill. In other words, secure the 1/4-inch shaft in a low RPM drill. Use light, even pressure as you travel around the rotor or flywheel. There's several times around the rotor. Stop and check that the glazing has been removed. Turn the rotor over and repeat the same process until you have the desired finish. Now, if you're lucky like me and you got a lathe and a way to mount it, you can just turn the lathe on, spin it, and just hold it against there and get a nice even finish. If not, and you're doing it on the table, you would have to work your way around like the directions says and keep moving, because you don't want low and high spots. Like this it's good for this rotor here. It just has a light surface finish on it, and it's you know, just needs a good honing. It's like cylinders on a car. If you send them to a machine shop and get them bored, that's machining. And then when they hone them for obviously a different reason than when to finish them to the final size and to get a crosshatch for lubrication. Brakes, you're not doing that. You're just trying to get a good surface for the new brake pads to grab in. Now, I already used this on my front brake rotors over here. Everything's dirty right now, but I changed pads. I went from a semi-metallic pad to a ceramic pad, and I went ahead, of course, chucked them in my lathe and used this on it. And they came out really good. Got a nice crosshatch pattern and all that. If you're using a lathe, you want to turn it at like 150 to 200 RPM, and then you just got to play around your speeds, get a good crosshatch. Unlike cylinders and the bore of an engine, you don't need to be precise with your crosshatch. You're not trying to, you're honing it for a different reason. You're just trying to clean up the surface. Like say these were my rotors that I was just talking about on the Corvette there with the Wildwood brakes. I was using like I said, a semi-metallic, and that gets embedded in the surface, you know, microscopically. And then going around this with this on the lathe, that helps remove that, and now they're ready for the ceramic pads. Now, like it says, you can do it like this. Of course, you always see people on the internet where they mount it on their car, on the drive wheels in the air and the rear wheels on the ground, chucked, I hope, and chocks. And They just put it in low gear and let it spin, and they do it that way, and then they'll flip the rotor around on the hub and do the other side. Nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you do it safely. You're using good jack stands and use common sense. And you also see people do flywheels that way too with the engine in the car. They idle the engine and then hit it with something like this or an angle grinder. That's up to you. Like I said, I am fortunate enough to have a lathe. So let's get the lathe fired up. I already got the RPM set and where I need it. And we'll see how it comes out on this rusty one here. This air is actually isn't too bad, but we'll see. So let me get the camera set up different position and we'll get going. All right, let's go. Let's see how this does. I think I'm going to spin this in reverse and spin this that way. Let's see how it goes. This rotor here is real rusty and probably could use a coarser one. Like they make these, I think, in 90 grit and they make them in 240 grit. But anyway, you can see how that came up. I wouldn't hesitate to use this, put a set of pads on and use it. Maybe take a sand, like here, this is part of the surface that the brake pads don't hit. So if I wanted to, I could take a coarse piece of sandpaper to that and clean that up more. Let's do some more. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, if I were just putting these on a car, a daily driver, I wouldn't hesitate to use this the way it is. I mean, it ain't perfect, it ain't nice, shiny, and new, but you know, if this is a car that's used year round, especially in the snow belt areas, this is going to go to hell. I mean, rubbing my finger across this is nice and smooth. Of course, you always want to check this with a mic, make sure it's parallel and all that. I could check run out if I wanted to on the lathe, because I do have a lathe. Now to do the other side, I could just move this here and do it that, or flip it. For the purpose, now the other side I think is rustier. So let me flip this around, just for the purpose of videoing, and then we'll do the other side. Okay, it's flipped. Let's give it a try. Yeah, that came out real good. Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to use this one bit. Let me get a light. Better lighting on here. Hopefully you didn't see that good. Yeah, that came out real good. Now, if you're doing something like this, should also check for run out and stuff like that. That you'd have to, if you don't have a lathe, you have to do on your vehicle. But yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to use this at all. This is really nice. This came out really good. I imagine I could do the edge here too if I wanted to clean up the edge. Let's see. This isn't designed for that, but let's try it. Yeah, I'm real happy with that. Very happy indeed. All right. Yeah, I mean, this could have came out better. I could probably hit this with a, I could probably take like my angle grinder across this and if I wanted to and clean that up. Now, one thing you want to consider, like on my Wildwood brakes, those are 2-piece rotors. They have the aluminum hub in the center, and they're black powder coated. So if you do something like this, you want to put like masking tape around them to protect them. Or, I mean, if I really wanted to, I could disassemble them and make a fixture to fit the lathe and do it that way. That would be a real pain in the butt. I didn't see any need to do that when I did that, so that worked out good. Now here's the thing, if you're doing, like, you look at this one here, oh well, no problem cleaning it up on the lathe, but it's got like these real heavy rust spots that are going to be a lot harder to clean up. And this side here wouldn't clean up, no problem. One recommendation, wear a dust mask if they're rusty like this. I should have wore a dust mask. Probably got dust all over the Corvette too, but oh well. Now if you do it according to, like this says, on, you know, where you have it on the ground, you have no way of spinning it. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, it looks like it would work out good, but doing it one hand, definitely not. Let me get this camera down here on the table. And see how that works. Okay, that came out real good considering. The edges here, you got a little edge here where the brake pad doesn't hit, so you're going to have that edge. Like again, I wouldn't hesitate to use this. See how this side comes out. All right, didn't come in this because of these real heavy rust spots. It didn't come out as good, but I have a lathe. I'll stick this in the lathe and clean that up that way and get a nice even finish. But I wouldn't hesitate to use this if I had to. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this brake rotor. This little bit of rust, that will just, even if I put it on the way it is, the pads are going to just wear that right off anyway. Might have to be a little even until they break in. And I could, like I said, if I put this in the lathe and go over it a little bit more, which I probably will. This is just going to sit on the shelf. I don't need it, but get some light on it. Hopefully you can see that good. Yeah. I guess I'll end the video. I'm going to give this a positive review, and doesn't look like it wore as much as I thought it was. It's actually holding up really well. For this brake rotor, I would have used a coarser one, but for all purposes, practical purposes, it worked real well. And like I said, if you got real deep grooved ones, this is not the tool. That's not going to refinish your brake rotors. If you got halfway decent brake rotors like these and you're just putting new pads on them, this is an excellent tool. Like I said, let's finish the video up. All right, I am giving this product a big thumbs up. Like I said, this is just for honing the surface. It's not for refinishing deeply grooved brake rotors. Deeply grooved brake rotors, you're probably better off just getting new brake rotors, because they're probably going to be at their minimum thickness anyway. These, like these rotors here, are, just some cleaning up and we'll be fine. This other one I'll probably stick on the lathe, finish cleaning it up. Stick it on the shelf with a bunch of others I have, or give them away at a good price to somebody who needs them. They're for a Corvette. I can't remember if they're front or rear, these two. Yeah, I'm going to give this product a big thumb up. If you're doing a lot of these, it definitely would be worth it to have the different grit, like the 220 grit and the 90 grit. I've seen those grits. I'm not sure if it came from the same manufacturer, but I've seen them on Amazon. I'll leave a link to where I got this. I got it off Amazon. I can't remember the price, but that will be that will change. So I'll leave the link, and you can just check that link out in the description box. But also has a warning about wearing safety glasses. I also recommend you wear some type of rubber glove. You shouldn't wear gloves when you're operating a lathe, but I see nothing wrong with wearing rubber gloves like this. If this catches, the rubber glove's just going to tear. Not going to tear your finger off or your arm, or it shouldn't, but use caution anyway. Wear gloves and wear a dust mask if there's a lot of whether there's rust or not. Don't be like me. All right, I'm going to stop rattling on. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.